two. Okay, so center 4 is the outdoor center. Okay. All right, so in ELF, we always emphasize, unless it's just horrible weather outside, you want to do this center, you want to bring them outside so they can hear the real thing live in nature. It's great doing these imitations of things in the classroom, but it's completely different when they're going outside and actually noticing it. And they will notice all this stuff a lot more than they ever used to. We have a lot of books and then like computer programs and stuff that play the bird songs that you guys can use in the classroom, but they say to never take those outside because it totally mixes up any electronic version or whatever that sounds so much like the real birds that it will actually agitate, annoy the birds, and they will like abandon their territory, they'll fail at nesting, all this kind of stuff. So if we do have anything in all these materials, don't bring that type of stuff outside as the kids. Be like, oh, do you want to hear what a chickadee sounds like? And press the button, and then they're like, oh, so you're messing up nature. Okay, and then encourage the kids to really go outside and listen for these things beyond their ELF day, okay? This one is basically bird watching and observation skills. They're going to be listening for sounds. They're going to be looking for birds. If you choose to do this center, if you could round up some binoculars, that would be a great thing. We're not going to supply them in the bins, but if you just have some at home, bring them in for that day or borrow them. And there are bird identification books in here, but do not sit there and be like, oh, what bird is that? And flip through the book for 10 minutes trying to find what bird that is, because that's not really the importance of this center. They encourage us, like, find a grassy spot outside by some trees, have them lay down and have them just listen and be quiet and close their eyes, because that might be a way for them not to be running around so much and stuff, and just to really be observant. There are 2 versions of the observation sheet. There is a K through 1 and 2. You can kind of mix these up. And this is a dry erase one. If you really want to go through these questions, you can and write the answers, but I mean, this is more for the guide. You're kind of like the coach outside. You know, where is the bird? How big is it? What color is the bird? They can draw the bird if they want to, but I wouldn't take the time. Okay, what's the bird doing? Is the bird singing or calling? And can you see the bird if it might be singing or calling too? So we've talked about the difference of singing and calling in the other center that I did, but there's a little box on the outside of center 2 that goes really through the difference between what a song is and what a call is.
It's also on center 4.
It is? Okay,
In the
great.
sidebar.
Okay, I didn't even get that. Okay, so anyway, don't be spending a lot of time writing on this, just ask them. So, and then in grades 3 and 4, it's basically the same, but a little bit more higher level questions. I did make copies of these. If you want to bring them out with clipboards and have them actually do this stuff with the older grades, they can. Okay, and then we added a section to this. Let's see. Oh, if you go out and there are no birds, which could be the case if you have an afternoon class, and why would that be? Everybody? Because they are not singing at that time. So you might want to talk about the time of the day, and if they haven't been through Center 2 yet, you might be, well, you're going to learn in Center 2 that they only sing in the morning, and then they stop, and then they start up again at 3 o'clock. So if you are in the afternoon, it's very likely you're not going to hear any birds out there.
And
Okay?
if you do, you're hearing them warn of predators, talk about food, or they're not looking for a mate
Nope.
at 3 in the afternoon.
No. Or like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something. Let's see. And then I did throw in this other bird observation. This is much more, this one's date, time, weather, and then it has like making tally marks for how many nesting birds you saw, flocking, singing or calling, and comments and that type of stuff. So you kind of choose what observation sheet you want to use, or just scrap them and just go out there and have them listen and talk about it.
So do you think if we're going out there at like between 8:30 and 10:30 that they'll hear some?
It'll be busy.
They-
It'll be busy. Especially there's a whole bunch of trees back by the kindergarten.
Is that, would you say that's the best area?
Yeah.
Or out by the pine trees out here. Wherever there's trees. I try to go
Yeah.
where trees are.
Right.
So out by the soccer fields, maybe.
Yeah. And then, let's see. And you might want to look for flocks of birds in the sky. These are ones that have not really split up yet for their migrating patterns and stuff. So if you do see a flock of birds coming across, that's a good thing. Okay, and then we've added making a little craft, so you could kind of go outside and even be making the craft while you're listening for birds. So you can kind of do all in one. So Amy, you know more about the craft because you put that together.
Well, Amy's talking about this. We really had a hard time with time for this. We didn't really know where to put this bird nest bag. Feel free to put this craft wherever you want it. Center 3, it could fit in there with the center Amy just did. Because all that's really in there is that card game, and they're trying to figure out who's behind which bird song. So feel free to chop it up as you like or as you need for the weather. You know, this doesn't have to go here. We just didn't know where else to put it. But it's cute. Oh yes.
All right, so it's a bird nest bag. Thanks to Lookout Mountain Nature Center for this wonderful idea that my kids did a long time ago. So, basically what it is you're gonna build a bag full of supplies that birds would use to build their nest. And so you start with directions. Ahead of time, the materials that are in here are raffia and moss stuff, yarn, which I have not cut up yet, so you should probably come in and cut up into some small pieces. And then you'll need a piece of longer yarn to tie on the top and the end too. But what you're gonna do is take, you guys want me to use this or just do it on the table?
Yeah, that's awesome.
This stuff is called tulle. I just learned. So.
Because you're a seamstress, right? You make tons of tutus, don't you, Annie?
Yeah, well, you know, Max would like. You probably shouldn't see that. All right, so you get a piece of this and of the tulle, and then ahead of time, it would be better to have these laid out so the kids aren't grabbing gigantic handfuls. But you'll put just like a pinch of the feathers in there, and some string, and some moss,
A little bit of this and that.
some more moss, and if you want to bring in anything you think is cool to put in here, just do that.
Yes, if you have any environmentally friendly supplies, of course, throw them in there. Feel free.
So then you're gonna take the corners, I just gathered up the corners. See that? And, the way I did it was just tie a short end. Tie it around there. Okay, so then. So then you want to try to just cut some little simple holes with the sharp tips.
So maybe, would they want to cut the holes maybe once they get home? So it doesn't like dump out in their backpack or something, I'm thinking?
I think that's a better idea. But also, by Monday in here, we'll have a Ziploc bag that the kids can put their name on, or you can, and then put this inside the Ziploc bag. The way I gathered this with my other example one, there's little holes that the kids could reach in and pull and kind of get it started. So, and then you can put in a tree for birds to come find. The ones that we did a couple years ago, birds came and pulled all this stuff out.
Oh, cool.
So they're just
now.
flying with their little beaks. Get the stuff. Does that make sense? One bird nest bag. That's about it. You guys have any questions? I think that's,
And I think most of the teachers probably have lots of Ziploc bags left. Like, so we probably maybe don't even need to buy some, put them in there, because they have a school supply thing at the beginning of the year.
sure, yeah. So yeah, you're responsible for cutting up the yarn into the pieces and organizing the piles so that these materials aren't done like yours. Maybe the second. Carrie said.